This tutorial will guide you through writing your first Java program using the Eclipse Integrated Development Environment, or IDE. Eclipse is a free program you can download from eclipse.org. When downloading, you want to make sure that you do not download the Java EE version. Instead, choose the Eclipse IDE for Java developers. After you launch Eclipse, it will ask you to specify the workspace you wish to use. The workspace is essentially the directory or folder where you will store your programs. You might choose a different workspace for each different course you take here at USF. In this case, I'm going to browse for a folder and create a new folder called CS112. This is where I will store all of my work for this course. So I click Browse, I select my home directory, Sammy Rollins, new folder, CS112. Create, open, and OK. Once I have selected the correct folder and I've clicked OK, I will see this main screen. This screen only appears the first time I select a new workspace. In the future, I will see a list of the projects I have created in my workspace. In order to begin work, I will select this workbench icon. So this brings me to the main view where I will do most of my development. There are three main components of this view that I need to be concerned with. On the left, I see the Package Explorer. As I create new projects, for example, Lab 1 or Assignment 2, they will appear here. So let's create a new project now so that we can more easily see how the other components of the view behave. To create a new project, I will select File, New, Java Project. When presented with this screen, I will choose a name for my project. In this case, I will use Hello World. In most cases, you can use the default values for all of the other items. So for each new program you write, you will create a new project. For example, if your Lab 1 assignment has 3 questions, you will likely create 3 different projects, one for each question. Once I've created my project, a folder for the project appears on the left of the Project Explorer. If I expand this folder, I will see a source directory that will contain the source code files I create for this project. Let's create a new source file now. There are a few ways to do this, but I typically right-click on the project folder and select New Class. For now, we'll enter the name of the class, and we'll choose the name Hello, and we'll leave the default values for all of the other items. Once I click Finish, I will see a file hello.java appear in this source folder, and my new class will open in the main window. The main window here is where I will write all of my code. You will notice that Eclipse was nice enough to start the class for me. Between the curly braces here is where I will write my code. So when this program runs, I want it to print Hello World to the output window. To accomplish this, I will write a main method and use a system.out.println statement to print the phrase. So eventually you will memorize the method header for the main method. Once I have typed the method header, I use a curly brace to signify the beginning of the method, and you'll notice that when I hit Enter in Eclipse, Eclipse will automatically insert the closing curly brace for me. So Eclipse does a lot of nice things like this, but sometimes this can cause you problems. So you always want to make sure that you understand the shortcuts Eclipse is allowing you to take. So inside of the main method here is where I will write the body of my program, in this case a system.out.println statement. So you'll notice that when I typed the open parenthesis, Eclipse automatically generated the closed parenthesis, and similarly it did the same thing with the quotation marks. But I can see by this red X on the left and by this red squiggly over here that I have a compilation error. So Eclipse continuously compiles for me, and it will alert me of these errors as soon as they occur. So if I hover over this red X, Eclipse will tell me more about the error. If I save this file, I will also notice that Eclipse tells me about the error down here in this Problems tab, the bottom of the page. In this case, the error is pretty obvious. I have forgotten to put a semicolon at the end of the line, and Eclipse requires that a semicolon be put at the end of every single statement. So once I fix the problem, if I save my program, all of the red X's and squigglies go away from the code, the errors go away from the problem as well, and I'm ready to run my program. So there are many ways to run the program, but normally what I do is I right-click on the Java file that contains the main method that I want to run. So in some cases you may have multiple source files, and you may have multiple source files with main methods. You want to select the one that has the main method that you want to run, right-click, and choose Run As Java Application. So you should see the Console tab pop up at the bottom of the window, and the output shown is the output of your program, which in this case is the expected output. In some cases, if the Console tab does not appear, you can click Window, Show View, Console, and that will bring up the Console tab. So if I wanted to go back and change my program, I could certainly do that. If I save it again, run it again, the output is just as I would expect.